It's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're fit as a fiddle. Happy as a June bug in June. Having a great day. You know what I'm saying? All those things. I don't know if any of those are sayings or not, but some of them might be. The point is, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. I've got a coffee, and we have a feat. A fantastic feat, something you don't see every day. It is moi and my Type 68, and I am going to unlock a tier 10 in one battle. I'm going to have such an epic game with so much experience that I'm going to unlock a tier 10 in only one battle. As you know, I like to go through and grind all the tanks. I'll get all the components, all the modules, but then I'll grind the tank to the next tank, and that gives me a good handful of battles to give you a really good review of that tank, right? I've played it. I know its ins and outs, the intricacies. I get good at it, probably better than everybody else in the world, more than likely something close to that anyway. And then I pontificate and give my sage advice on what you might want to or not want to do with any particular tank. So, just as I have done in the past, I am bringing you this review with one battle that unlocks the next tank. Absolutely fantastic. What do you guys think of that? I think that's pretty amazing. All the experience you need in one battle. That is what you call propaganda. that's what you call packaging the commentary. This probably has other words I can't think of right now. So that while it is technically correct that I did that, it is not correct in terms of grinding the experience. Because, and I'm sure most of you already know this, we talked about it on Sunday, and I'm sure you already sort of understand that what happened here really is that I had all the daggum blueprints. So when you have every tank like I do, and a new line comes out, initially you can do what I said as far as get the modules, grind the tank, get the next tank, get the modules, grind the tank, and get a good idea. But what I find out with the way the game is set up now, with all the blueprints and things that you get as rewards, the faster you go faster. Because once there's only a couple tanks left, every time you get a blueprint out of something, it's for that tank. So when I got to the tier 9 Type 68, I actually unlocked it and let it sit for a couple weeks because I was busy doing other things, so that probably hurt as well. So any other gameplay that got blueprints added more blueprints. So I said, you know what? I need to grind the Type 68, and let's go ahead and get started right here. I need to grind the Type 68 and get the tier 10, so I sat down and put some equipment on it and got going. And I've got Goose in here, by the way, I believe. We're going to the danger zone. And played this one game. When I came out of the game, I looked in the garage and it had the little tank symbol up by the research button. And I went, oh. And when I clicked on that, I was done. It's possible I'd unlocked it before even this first game. So here we go. We are on Westfield Dorf, spawned into the north side on the top. Remember, with this particular map, there are two spawn points, one down below there and one up top. This is a tier 9 and 8 battle, so pretty good setup for me on my first battle. I'm going to come up here and do the hold down thing. Now, these tanks have good gun depression, plus they have a little hydraulics to add on to the top of that thing. I was just looking at the stats of this. The tank is doing okay so far. It's in the top 10 as of right now with quite a few battles. In fact, it's one of the most played because it's one of the newer tanks in terms of tank lines. So it's doing fine. I mean, it's not challenging the Concept 1B or even the 7.52, which, by the way, I didn't like and is doing really well as I look at that. But it is certainly not a dog in any way. It's got accuracy, it's got gun depression, it's got decent turret armor, really everything that a good player would want for the most part in a heavy tank. It's not particularly fast. The armor can be questionable at times, but it is well angled. And in a situation like this with a hold down tank, it's really in good shape. Now, that being said, there are a couple interesting things about this tank, and we're about to find out. They were things I wasn't necessarily thinking about, but I will be thinking about them momentarily. Boom. Ow. No, no, no. Oh, jeez.
Why are we using training rounds?
Nice job by the T-54E1 lifting up his gun or his turret to make it more angled there. Bounce off that thing. So, the design of this tank, pretty good angled front turret turret face right there, obviously if you're pointing at the enemy. But once you start getting kind of these side shots, and I'm trying to see where he actually hit me, because to be honest, I don't see it, at least initially. It might be behind some of this stuff, or... Wow, okay. That's very interesting. I don't know where he hit me. I assumed it was the side of the turret, which is what it looked like, but I can't see the hole. It's there somewhere. Flat-sided turrets like this can be problematic in situations like this where you've got several different directions shots might be coming at you. Now, I'm going to pin that guy. That works out nicely. And I am spamming the gold right now. We do have a penetration with APCR of 311 and a standard pen of 250. All right, so there's another shot. He gets me once again with his gun depression, and that one's pretty obvious right there. Zaps me right in the side of the flat plate of the turret. I try to put it towards him, and he gets me again. Oh, that hurts so bad. Right through the turret. Right? So he's looked down. That actually flat plated that a little bit. And as I said, the turret's okay. It's not amazing. It's more about angles than just pure thickness. And we'll just continue to work this. We got the... Oh, and I take another shot from the T... I mean, I just absolutely bleed out all of my hit points pretty immediately. And it's not a bad position for the tank, but as you can see, the turret just really did not stand up to that abuse very well. We just took... Plus, I wasn't necessarily... Oh, one of them got me in the side, so there you go. Had nothing to do with the turret. Looks like the TL7 slapped me right in that flat side there. So... You're going to want to keep this thing's front armor to people, I guess, is the point of all that mess. Hard to do in this particular situation where they've got several different angles. And as I have been having to take... How do I want to say this? As I have had to do more often recently, as I have not played quite as much, and my currency and proficiency goes down, I take another hit, and now I'm down to 71 hit points. Kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. Get lucky with the TL7. I'm having to play uber careful because I have essentially just given up all of my votes. The 257s or 752 is in a good spot right there. It can be effective for doing what he's doing against us. If we come up high and nobody's keeping him busy, then we might get shot in the side. Try to come up here. I can't find him. We'll just pop a shot off and back down. But I now have to be super careful, right? I've really given up a lot of hit points. I'll tell you what, that FL10, good on him, because he has really kept us kind of in this thing, harassing these guys, keeping them a little bit busy so they can't completely just focus on us. And we're getting kind of beat up right here. Here comes the JT finally to come in to help. So good on him for being a bit of an annoying booger over here. That did help us out. And they do have an artillery, although we are a bit ahead right now in terms of guns. Looks like we're doing okay-ish down in the southeast there. Sneak a shot in the 2.5. So finally somebody else made a mistake and I was able to capitalize it. There's the accuracy of this gun, since we're doing kind of a mini review on it. Once it cools off, so it's got the new Japanese heavy thing where X number of seconds after it reloads, it will then cool, at which point it will get considerably better accuracy. Much better accuracy. And then the IS-3 comes in here. I really thought it was kind of over for us here. I was very worried about the situation that was developing. We do have some TDs back there keeping them a little bit honest, but there goes our Tiger Mouse, and all of a sudden it's 3-3, and this is just looking really grim. I am quite lucky, actually, that... Two things. I'm lucky that Artie didn't get me, and that the IS-3 wasn't really ready to take a shot at me right there. So we're going to have to just really rely on the hold down situation. And this is terrible right here, tactically from this little position. The bummer here is if I move up underneath this 257's gun, that helps me out, but then it makes me more exposed to, say, the T-54E1, who's a pretty good player and has been abusing me pretty badly on this game, to shoot me on the side. So there's no good options here. I can continue to go up high and try to keep him honest, but then I'm going to get shot definitely by 257. So you're going to want to stay in the little dip. But if you move right, you have a problem from the left. If you move left, you have a problem from the right. It's not a good position when they start to wrap around like this. The good news is that I still do have some guys behind me, keeping them a little bit honest. And the JT especially, plus the Mark 1, the CC Mark 1, they don't really want to walk into those guys.
It's time for the special ammo.
A little bit of critical damage, that's a bummer. Kind of a hasty shot. I'm really expecting to get killed here. I'm going to sneak one right up underneath his tracks on the side of the tank. They're trying to kill the Tiger II. So they're sort of ignoring me, giving me extra shots. I'm not getting much in terms of the accuracy here because I'm not waiting quite long enough, although this one looks like it probably will get me to the cooled situation with the gun, and that will give me more accuracy. Now you can see that it's going well now. They did nicely down in the southeast. We've killed a few extra guys off here, and all of a sudden now, did you see that little jump there? That's one thing to watch out for with this tank, and it's hydraulic, so it's got that extra couple degrees of hydraulics. The problem with it is use all the standard gun depression, and when you hit that and you bring your mouse down to get the extra hydraulic depression, it sort of jerks. It would actually bounce before they fix that situation, but you will see, you saw the reticle kind of move like that, so just understand that that's part of the way this thing is mechanized, and you can adjust for it a little bit, or at least expect it. And then I get shot in the back by the TL7. Doggone it. He actually does a nice job and comes in there and causes issues. Did he kill both of us? Yeah, I think he killed two of us. Got me and the Tiger 2 by sweeping around there. We're in good shape, though, so we've got them by 9-7, and we'll end up winning this battle. One battle, man. It's too bad it wasn't a more epic battle, because then I could have played off the whole I did it in one battle. It was alright though. 2,011 damage, 628 assist. Lost track that somebody might be swinging around behind me right there. That is quite unfortunate. But we really held off pretty decently right here. What we needed to do. They are starting to even it up a little bit, but we do end up winning this battle. So it's not a bad tank, guys. You know, it's pretty solid. It's currently in the top 10 or so, top 15 of Tier 9 heavy tanks. It's early days, so often they start off a little higher than they might be. We'll see where it kind of rack and stacks later on, but I don't think it's going to get much worse. I can definitely say it is a solid Tier 9 heavy. The accuracy gimmick is a good gimmick, especially if you're able to cool it, because it's nice to have accuracy when you're a good player. It's got enough depression to use the positions that require depression on the map. Its turret is somewhat indifferent, as you saw. Not terrible, but also not great. So do be careful in terms of if you just roll up to the hold down spot and expect people aren't going to pen your turret. That's not necessarily true. It's not a fantastic turret, but if you can avoid taking return shots, you're in good shape in terms of hold down stuff because the accuracy is good. I would like to play it a little bit more and see if there's some pixel sniping capabilities, even though that's not really my favorite type of gameplay, to be quite honest. But I think in some of the sniping situations, hold down spots, which are have a little bit further off, say medium to long range capabilities, and maybe even short range, to be honest, when you're shooting at 1 or 2 pixels of hatches and stuff like that, you might find this thing quite useful in those situations where the gun is going to give you that advantage to start, when you want to take 2,000 hit points away from a tank through its hatch. And some people do. All right, fellas, that's all I've got for today. That is the Type 68. It is the Tier 9 Japanese heavy tank in the new Tech Tree line. I'm calling it a solid tank. Obviously, only one battle right there. We'll see what happens as we continue on to the 100 Battle Challenge with it, but I don't think it's really going to be that painful. And I didn't set it up for tryhard either. I had standard equipment on it. Goose helped, I'm sure, having Goose in there as the commander. Great voice lines, by the way, buddy. That's all I've got, fellas. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.